everybody thinking that the government and the Federal Reserve has our back. People were asking me today about the bond purchases by the Federal Reserve. WTF? What the fuck? The Federal Reserve has $6.7 trillion of bonds on its balance sheet, consisting of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. What is backing those bonds? I used to hear that the number was $600 to $700 billion of capital that the Fed has. Now I'm hearing it could be under $100 billion. What does that mean? That the government who borrows money, the Fed, buys those bonds from the government raising capital. They don't even have any money backing it. The Fed's balance sheet numbers range between 100 and 150 times leveraged. It'd be like, hey, Joe and Susie are married. They owe $10 million. They create another account that loans them $10 million, but that account only has $50,000 in it, and they just keep running that way. The government that we have, the $40 trillion in debt, people can't even comprehend the magnitude of this number. On top of that, I don't even know if there's anything behind the Federal Reserve's $7 trillion balance sheet. If they had to mark these bonds to market, the equity that the Federal Reserve has could very well be a negative number. They'll never have to do that, and they can just make electronic entries, which is what Elon Musk said the government does. They just put electronic entries out there, and there's nothing behind it. But the biggest problem that I think all this is the stock market's been on a huge run, like we've rarely seen in our history, and the economy's still doing fairly well. What happens if we have an 07 or 08 crisis or another 2020 crisis? The Fed doesn't have the firepower it's had in the past to come up and step up and prop things up. So whatever bonds the government was buying or shenanigans they were doing, it's literally like a nickel on a billion. It's nothing. What they've done is nothing. They're just trying to put out news or some sort of confidence to gain confidence in the public, because interest rates have been going up. Interest rates continue to rise at the rate they are. The economy's going to end up slowing down. Housing's going to slow down. Stocks are going to go lower. Stock prices are a direct correlation with interest rates. If interest rates skyrocket, the value of stocks is going to go down. I don't see any way that interest rates can go down, and we owe $40 trillion, which means we are the biggest debtor on the face of the earth. We're paying over $1 trillion a year in interest. What all this means is, what the fuck? The Federal Reserve and the U.S. government is basically in serious shit. If we end up having a financial crisis, they don't have the firepower like they did in 07 or 08 or in 2020 to save our asses. Let me know what you think, and is anything I'm saying about the balance sheet is incorrect? Maybe there's some Einstein out there, some economic genius that can tell me I'm wrong. Let me know.